Welcome, everyone. Welcome to purplelunarose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, we're reading for Divine Feminine energy. We are going to be doing a Celtic Cross reading. We're going to look at the heart of the matter, what is challenging Divine Feminine at this time. I'm going to do some past, present, and future energy readings. And then, of course, we'll look at some outcome at the end. Guys, don't forget we are multi-streaming, so 3 different platforms. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all at the same time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so glad that this is the last week of Mercury retrograde. It has definitely been a challenging one, to say the least, right? We also have a Virgo season starting today, so happy birthday to all the Virgos out there. We have a few special Virgos here at PLR for sure. And I think I'm a Virgo rising, right? All right, so Celtic Cross reading, we've been doing this for a few months now for Divine Feminine. And right at the last minute, I decided I was going to change it up a little bit. I told Spirit I get bored and I need to be able to do something different from time to time. And so Dream Sequa is with us over on YouTube. Hello, Dream Sequa. So she mentioned the Sacred Traveler that she just recently had gotten. And so I decided I was going to pull it out. And that's what we're going to use tonight. But we're actually going to use these to clarify. I know, right? Normally we use the oracle for the spread and the tarot to clarify. Today I'm going to do it backwards. So tonight we're doing the Sacred Traveler by Denise Lynn for the Celtic Cross reading for Divine Feminine. And then I'm going to use the Tarot of the Enchanted Soul to clarify. I am going to try to keep this as short and sweet as possible. Guys, it's the last day of my week. I'm exhausted. I know, I feel like I keep saying that and I feel like I keep getting in trouble for it. So here's what I'm going to say. It is really, really almost over. I know you guys have been listening to me say that for the last month. But it is almost to an end, and we are going to get back to our zodiac sign readings. I do feel like the channel is going to take a little bit of a new direction when we get to our zodiac sign readings, but we will talk more about that as the energy gets closer. All right, let's get started. So first card out, I'm going to be looking for the heart of the matter for Divine Feminine. That's going to be the energy at the moment, what's happening for Divine Feminine. I am, of course, looking at the collective energy. And I am, of course, mostly looking at those of you that are on this very specific type of spiritual awakening journey with me. All right, look at that. Heart of the matter is going to be 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is going to be a victory. It's notoriety. It's a little bit different than just any victory. 6 of Wands is being noticed. It's kind of like giving me this energy, like giving you overdue credit is the words that I'm hearing, overdue credit. And it's interesting because we also have 8 of Coins. I'm going to keep going with it. So 8 of Coins is going to be the crossing energy for Divine Feminine. And this is about work, dedication, consistency, and focus. I definitely feel like in my own personal journey, dedication and consistency has probably been like the biggest lesson for 2024. And I want to say something really quickly because I have a feeling it's going to come up later. It doesn't really fit into right now, but I'm going to go with it. So I do feel like it's going to come out for Divine Feminine energy reading today. I have this weird theory that I want to share with you guys. So I was watching TikTok because, you know, I love TikTok, right? I seen somebody else like showed me a TikTok video on their phone today. And I realized that the algorithm is so different for people on TikTok, right? But anyway, so I was watching this video and the person was talking about the cardinal signs. So Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. And it's talking about this Pluto Pluto movement, right? This transit that's happening. It is a once in our lifetime transit that's happening with Pluto in Aquarius. And actually, Pluto is actually fixing to go back into Capricorn on September 2nd for about a month and a half. And it's literally the last time that it will be in Capricorn in our lifetime. So a very significant cosmic influence that's happening. But it's also the fact that it's moving from Capricorn to Aquarius. It's also the end of karmic cycles for those cardinal signs for Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. So if you have sun, moon, or rising in any of those signs, it tells me that in the last 16 years since Pluto's been in Capricorn, you've been dealing with a lot of challenges, a lot of closures, a lot of endings. This could be relationships, marriages. It could be careers. These are going to be things that you spent, 16 plus years doing, right? So I just want to say, if you have a big placement like that, we've kind of been getting our butt kicked, right? And I do feel like, I guess the tides are changing, right? I can tell that the energy is getting, I want to say lighter, but it's not really lighter because it feels like really exciting or like something's coming that's really good. So, I mean, it's lighter, but it's, I don't know, intense, right? I guess you could say. You guys same that energy, especially with those placements, right? And so what's happening here, because this is 2024, because this is I know it's Pluto been there for 16 years, but we're actually closing out an 8-year cycle, right? And it's a karmic cycle. So you could feel, if you're an Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn, that you've been really going through it. You've really been going through some challenges and some big changes in your life, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening, and why am I having all this stuff happen to me, and maybe not other people that are around you, and you're like, why me, right? That type of energy. Here's what I'm going to say. Ready? Two things. I'm going to say two things. One, that's fixing to end, that challenging period for those of you at cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. That is fixing to end as soon as Pluto moves back into Aquarius for the for the next 20 years, right? And then it's someone else's turn to take those karmic lessons, and you'll start to receive rewards around that time. But I want to share. This is what I wanted to share with you, that I feel like was definitely a message from Spirit for me today. Like, I even heard we're going to use it in tonight's live. I really actually don't know if it's now or not. I just knew that I wanted to say it, so I thought I'll just do it now. Are you ready? So Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. If you, like me, feel like the last 16 years of your life has been so challenging, if you've had major relationships come to an end, if you've had major careers come to an end, if you've, whole life feels like it's been turned upside down and it's completely different now than it was before. Again, it's about to change and things are about to get easier for those 4 signs. And that's amazing. Great news. I'm super excited. The astrology, if you study the astrology of 2025, just proves it. And it, again, just so exciting, right? But here's what I'm going to say. Ready? There's a theory that the reason those relationships were so challenging, those karmic lessons were so challenging, or maybe even so painful. It's just a theory now, mind you. I always say, we'll ask Jesus one day when we get up there, but today's not the day, right? It's going to be because the roles were reversed in previous lifetimes. So think about that. So if you feel like things have been challenging for you, and why did this person treat me this way, and why did I have to go through these things? It's karma balancing itself out. It's karmic cycles balancing itself out. And if you're like, but I didn't deserve this. I didn't deserve what happened to me in this lifetime. I woke up, I was born, and here I am. And it's like, I'm 44 years old. I was like, I didn't do this shit to other people. Why would this shit happen to me? Again, just a theory, just a theory. But I just want you to know that when I heard them say it's a karmic cycle that you have to balance out, and definitely could be something that you committed, something that you done, or a way you treated someone in a previous lifetime. It shook me. Like it shook me to the core, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. Instead of going, why me? Why is God against me? Why is everything so unjust? I mean, it's possible, right? Like it's possible that there are other lifetimes. It's possible that we weren't this nice people pleaser in other lifetimes, right? Um, so I just wanted to share that, especially with this divine feminine energy, because I do feel, especially those of us that are on this type of awakening, that we feel, I don't know, used and abused, right? So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind, right? Michelle says my Pluto's in Libra as well, Venus and Cancer. I've really been studying Pluto, really honestly, guys, Pluto since like I want to say 2022, but for this transit, but really it was 2020 because that's when I, was freaking out because they said Pluto wasn't a planet, and I was like, how is that possible? You know what I'm saying? Like when I was started to study astrology, I seen that where they said they had taken the label or the name planet away from Pluto, and I was just like, I was blown away from that. Just I guess because I know what Pluto represents, or like I know how it affects us or impacts us. So I was just like, I couldn't believe that they were trying to say that it was too small or it was too far away or whatever. But yeah, this everything we're experiencing this year, 2024, um, is touched by Pluto in some shape, way, form, or fashion. But again, also the end of this massive karmic cycle. And what are the odds too that this is all happening? Like it all coincides, all happening at the same time. All right. So my next question to Divine Feminine is, are you looking for a victory? Are you anticipating a victory? Do you feel like Spirit's been asking you to be more focused? Do you feel like Spirit's been asking you to be more consistent? Do you feel like Spirit's been asking you to be more dedicated? I know like that case for me. Like just this live right now, my middle son called me at the end of my day, right? I was waiting for it to be time to clock out and go home. And so I could prepare, for this. And he calls me and says he wants to come out to out to the lake where I work, and he wants to bring food and do a cookout. And we don't tell him no because we don't get to see him very often, right? So I was, and I was excited to see him, right? My youngest son just had his baby, so he gets to come see the baby again, and so that was, really exciting. And back in Rosa, um, you know, 2023 Rosa or 2022 Rosa or even 2021 Rosa, if like something like that happened, well, we're canceling, we're rescheduling the live. Like I want to go spend time with my children and my family. And I'm already wasting 10 hours here at this at this place that I'm working for someone else, right? And so yeah, that wasn't allowed today. It was like a big, fat no, and it was clear, and it was like, this, we're not doing that no more, type of energy. I'm telling you guys, when you start following your purpose, like when you I mean, you're awake now, or you wouldn't be watching and listening to me. But it's like when you realize or figure out what your purpose is, I guess, and then start following it or start doing it. It's like at first, Spirit really gives you some time to play around, some time to let you think like you're in charge. And it's really not until, you're in it for a minute. When suddenly it's like you look back and you realize you were never in charge, right? Like you were never. It's only if Spirit says something's allowed that it happens, right? Otherwise, you're doing the live, Rosa, and we're moving forward. But yeah, it stinks because it's like you would think that family time is important, or you would think that a break is important, or like you would think that a vacation is important, or you would think that like any of these things are important. I'm not saying they're not, But spirit definitely has a way of showing you what balance means once you start following your purpose, for sure. So I feel like if you're looking for a victory, if you're waiting to be noticed for something, I feel like you could have worked really hard for something, and you're like, hey, where's the credit? How come they don't notice me? Where's my raise? Right? Like those types of things. Then the hard question here is going to be, how dedicated were you? How committed were you? And for somebody out there, because I'm hearing this right now, so I'm just going to spit it out. For somebody out there, maybe this is like a work situation. Maybe you feel like you really didn't get the credit you were supposed to, right? People didn't really see how hard you worked. Maybe you didn't never get that raise, right? So what happened? You started slacking, right? You started doing less of your job. You started calling out more, or you started going in late, and you're like, well, if they're not going to see all the hard work I'm doing anyway, then why would I, keep going and keep doing that? Well, the question really is, why would you, right? Like, why would you not just be following your purpose and doing what God tells you to do? You don't want to know why? Because we're human and we think we know everything. um, but yeah, there's going to be, and if we asked ourselves some hard questions, some hard truths, right? You would see that you slacked, or you weren't as dedicated as you claimed to be, or wanted to be, or knew you should have been. For me, it's going to be the consistency. Apparently, we need to be doing these lives on a regular basis. So consistency, of course, is going to be really important. The sun is on the bottom, and I know the sun is about bright joy and happiness, and yay, that's very true. But it's also the self. It's the first house. It represents first house. So it's like there's something about another big lesson for me in 2024 is also like, there's no one else to blame, right? There's no one else to blame. Like, we can't be like, oh, that guy I was dating didn't like it when I, followed my purpose. We can't be like, oh, my kids are too loud and I don't ever have time for myself. We can't be, because none of those things are true, right? Like, the guy, it doesn't matter if he likes it or not. You would have went and done what you needed to do anyway. So instead, it's like we let somebody make an excuse for us, right? Same thing with like children and I don't know, dogs, pets, plants, whatever your duties are, whatever your responsibilities are. You could be like, oh no, I just have them all the time and I just can't do that. That's not true. You don't have them all the time. You do have time to yourself. Does that mean you may get an hour less of sleep? Does that mean that you can't go shopping on such and such day with so and so? I mean, yeah, it might mean those things, but those statements, I can't, are not true, and they're just excuses, right? Like, that's, I mean, they were for me anyway. All right, let's look at highest expectation of the matter. So we have Four of Swords coming out. Four of Swords is healing. Four of Swords is also an energy that says, I almost said everything happens for a reason, but it's more than that. It's something you can't see. Maybe something you don't understand. I think it's both. I think it's something you don't understand and something that you can't see. If you could see it, you'd have more faith in it. And I think if you could understand it, you wouldn't question it. Ten of Cups is on the bottom. I'm taking it because we need it. Ten of Cups is happy home, happy family. This is energy that's coming into being. Energy coming into being. Happy home, happy family. Ace of Cups is going to be past energy. We have King of Wands on the bottom now. So King of Wands is going to be, have confidence in yourself. It's not the Knight of Wands. Knights are reckless. It's like, I have a little courage, but I may go do some dumb shit, right? A King of Wands is more responsible, practical. I almost said understanding, but it is. They understand. But King of Wands is like, be confident. You don't, the King of Wands is already courageous. Like he already knows he can do this thing. Be confident in what you're capable of doing. All right, this is where it's going to get interesting. Ready? Dream sequence says we are the chess pieces. So true. That's interesting too that you said that. I have on Wednesday, I guess Wednesday and Thursday, I help another area in the park, and one of their duties or responsibilities is we have these where I work there, they have the giant chessboard. It's like on a big slab of concrete, and you stand on it and you can pick up your pieces. They're like big giant pieces, like, I don't know, 2-3 feet tall. They're not 3 feet tall, 2 feet tall maybe. And you pick them up and you can move them around. So for the last 2 weeks, I've had to put those chess pieces out. And it's weird because as I'm walking away and like they're all out and it's ready to go, as I'm walking away, I always keep looking back. Like, did I put the king and queen in the right spot? I know, right? It's funny though, because today when I was putting them out there, I was like, man, why haven't I played? Like, I haven't played in so long. When I worked there back in 2015, I played on a regular basis. So it's like, why haven't I played? All right, let's look at that 6 of Wands. So 6 of Wands, that victory, that's the heart of the matter. I feel like you're anticipating something, you want something, you're calling it forth type of energy. I feel like you could feel there's some unjust energy here, like something's not fair. It's the notoriety. So it's like someone didn't get noticed. Maybe you don't feel appreciated. I think that could be it, definitely. We have first light, beginning a new cycle coming out. I think that kind of coincides with the karmic cycle or karmic lesson that we're closing out. The 8 of Coins, we have grounding. It says go deep and explore your roots. I feel like it worked much better when I practiced. All right, so 6 of Wands, victory. I think the victory could be that you are beginning a new cycle. And there's something about like the seasons. Like I see all 4 seasons on beginning a new cycle. So it's like something from a year ago today. Oh my gosh. Remember guys, I had Kundalini activation a year ago in August. Remember? So it could definitely have something to do with that. But yeah, it's like there could be some big chapter closing out for you. I know that's definitely very true in my own experience. But I feel like there's something about that notoriety. Like you feel like you didn't get some type of credit. Like someone didn't notice something. Maybe it was you. Like maybe it was you. Like for me, just now sitting here doing this reading, I realized like, wow, I didn't realize it's been a year since Kundalini activation. And then it's like an immediate flood of everything that happened to me since then. As a grounding would definitely be needed, right? So if you feel like you can't focus, if you feel like you're struggling to stay dedicated, if you're feeling burnt out, right? Like I'm the Aries, so I feel burnt out. Whew. And especially as we're coming to this last little period where Pluto makes this last transit, right? For literally the last time for us anyway. Go deep, explore your roots. I think it's more, I think it's more of like a little bit of go back and remember where you came from. Go back and remember who you are, right? But it definitely like go outside, touch a tree, take your shoes off. That's what I've been hearing. Like, there's something about our shoes, and there's something about the type of shoes that I buy that are no good. So I bought these sandals. I thought they were super cute, and I'm not gonna show them to you because they're so dirty. But I bought them. They're just like strap sandals with like the two wide bands that go over the toes. You know what I'm talking about? And they're white. They have like a khaki or like a brown or tannish, I guess, sole, and then this black rubber on the bottom. There's something about the rubber, and there's something about the soles of our shoes. And I'm not talking about like, I mean, really anything that's blocking your feet from the earth. But here's what I know. Like, I can walk outside and wear socks and I feel grounded. I feel fine. I don't feel like, oh, I got to take my socks off. I'm not touching the earth. I don't feel that. Now, I remember the Indian lady who took her shirt off and like laid down on the ground naked and put her belly button to the ground. Y'all remember me telling you about that? And that's the way the Indians do it. And it's like, that's, you know, very sacred. It's like a very important thing they do. And I get that. I get that. But I also know that when I go outside in my socks, I'm perfectly fine. It's still working. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it's working less. You know what I'm saying? Again, just my experience. Okay. So like there could be somebody out there that knows more than me and they're like, no, Rosa, it's less. Okay, whatever. But I'm just saying when I go out there, it's fine. When I go out there in certain sandals, I feel like it's fine. But flip-flops, especially flip-flops, oh my gosh. But yeah, like tennis shoes and I guess certain sandals with like rubber bottoms, apparently no good for grounding, no good. And I spend a lot of time outdoors. I'm right by like the biggest lake, and I couldn't tell you how far in this country. Okay, it's huge. But it's like I still notice, especially today, that certain shoes, I guess, keep you from being able to get that electrical recharge, right? That the earth gives us when we ground ourselves, when we touch nature, and when we, you know, go out barefoot, right? I think grounding is going to be really important, especially if you're one of those cardinal signs. Like if you're an Aries, a Libra, a Capricorn, or a Cancer, I mean, you probably feel like you're being pushed, right? You probably feel like you're on the edge of something. I wouldn't say you feel like you're going to break because of look how far we've come, right? Because of like the implementation of our spiritual awakening, of the lessons that we've learned. So it's like, I wouldn't say that you feel like you're going to break, but you're definitely pissed off and tired, right? All right. Highest expectation could be, I just want to rest. But there is something about a blessing in disguise. And I almost see this angel like calling down on her. So it's almost like that, you know, Archangel Gabriel with the horn. And it's like, here, follow your purpose. So it's almost like, you know, that that's what you're going to do, which is pretty interesting because I made this comment today too. I had my Kundalini, and spirit really just made me like withdraw, or like withdraw is not the right word. We were still doing lives almost every day. But it's like reclusive energy. I had my face on the camera almost every day during that period. August of last year, y'all. And I would get up in the morning and I had a very set routine. I had a very set, like what I was allowed to eat, like take into my body. And we just moved into Virgo season. So this is like going to be important. But it was like, I had to, anything toxic, bad, unhealthy. I couldn't have coffee. Do y'all remember that? I couldn't have coffee. I couldn't have a lot of things. And it definitely felt like, oh, this is it from now on. I got really upset about the house in the woods and the 9 cats. You remember? Like I was just a little upset about it. So you guys, I think people think that like, oh, she's having a great time on her spiritual awakening. Like, no, she's not. But I made the comment today. So what happened was I started to do that, but then I got lonely and I was like, screw this. I miss my friends. I miss, you know, going out. I miss dating. I miss this. I miss that. Right. And so I slowly started to do these little things that I was not supposed to do. And here's another thing. When you're having spiritual awakening, I know like we have our higher self, right? Like our conscious, right? And we're like, that's bad, Rosa, don't do that. Okay, but it's different. It's different when you have awakening. It's different when you grow your relationship with source, with spirit, with God, whatever label you got to put there. But it's like, it's different. It's an authoritative type of energy, right? For me, I could be like, you know, I don't feel like going to work today. You're right, Rosa. You're tired. It's been a grueling week. You've been helping everyone. Take the day. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for me to do that for myself. But spirit's like, yeah, no. I seen this other TikTok video right about the same time that I was having Kundalini, and I remember the guy saying like, "My God's different than your God. Like my God's mean. He's not nice like your God. My God makes me do stuff." I know, right? All right, blessing in disguise. What I was gonna say earlier is I'm ready, y'all. Like I'm ready to recluse. I wouldn't say the 9 cats by no means, but I'm starting to understand why not everyone should have access. I'm starting to understand why it needs to be more protected. All right, blessing in disguise. We have the miracles card. It says, expect the wondrous to emerge. I feel like we all feel that. It's interesting because expect, and it's in the highest expectation. So it's almost like you know that spirit is going to ask you to start protecting that energy more, right? Hi, Renee. So I feel like you probably feel like, for example, when you're out people pleasing and you're out doing for other people, you're out working for the man, right? When you're doing all these things, if you're anything like me on this journey right now, right here, it's like you hear all the things. I hear spirit clearly telling me like so much time wasted here, so much time. But I'm also learning about consequences. So like I can't just be like, you know what, I quit, screw you, right? I'm also learning that you have to finish what you start. I'm also learning that I needed this lesson. Like I needed this lesson. So when I do go to be more reclusive, when I do go to pull my energies back, when I do go to protect those energies much more fiercely than I have been, I'm not going to sit there and have resentment. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like spirit said, okay, Rosa, you want to go out there? You want to do this? You want your stupid paycheck? Here you go. You know what I mean? And it was just enough for me to see and understand. No, I didn't really want that after all. Right? All right, let's look at 10 of Cups. This is energy that's coming into being that divine feminine doesn't know yet. Energy coming into being that divine feminine doesn't know yet flies out of the deck. Begin now. Take your very first step. Here's what I'm going to say. It's not 10 of Pentacles. It's 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is very specific. Okay, so Pentacles, remember, material things. It's everything, really. Pentacles literally encompass everything. Physical life, spiritual life, everything. But Cups are your feelings, your emotions, how you feel. It's very specific. 10 of Cups, the easiest one, I always say it, is happy home, happy family. I feel like you guys are going to hear me say these things enough that, 20 years down the road, somebody's going to be reading tarot in their house for someone, and they're going to pull that 10 of Cups out and be like, Rosa said, happy home, happy family. I think that's the goal. I think that's what we're trying to do. For those of you that were in karmic relationships, abusive, toxic, narcissistic, that's done, right? And we held on for dear life, and then spirit made things as uncomfortable as possible until you had no choice but take action, right? For those of you that were in soulmate relationships but were having your own mental breakdown, I'm sorry, spiritual awakening. So I feel like for those of us, we have learned, I almost said it takes two, and I don't normally say that. But we've learned, let me just tell you what I've learned. Here's what I've learned. Ready? I've learned that everyone has narcissistic traits. Everyone. I've learned that everyone is in the darkness at some time in their existence. I learned that the only way you get out of the darkness is God. I learned that some people are more into the darkness than others. It's not because God has abandoned them. It's because they don't know who God is. They've lost touch. They need to come back towards the light. You see what I'm saying? God's still there waiting. So yeah, those are the things. And it's like when you learn those things, and accountability, self-reflection, when you start to realize like, oh, I did this shitty thing to this person and I should probably go heal that about myself, right? Um you just start doing it. You just start healing what needs to be healed. You have accountability. Here's what I will say when this happens. You won't be allowed to be around energies that don't. You won't. Those are karmic relationships, and they will fall like you wouldn't believe. Boom, gone. If someone is by you and they have accountability, in other words, they don't walk around claiming to be perfect. They don't put all the blame on you. They want to heal just as much as you do. That's going to be soulmate energy. That's going to be soulmate energy. And wouldn't it be beautiful if you healed together? Wouldn't that be something? I think right now, happy home, happy family is definitely the main concern for Divine Feminine. And I think you're cutting out and cutting away anything, absolutely anything, even if it comes from you, that is toxic, unhealthy, or threatens that happy home or that happy family. All right, Ace of Cups is going to be past energy. Intuitive hits are a constant, so that's not it. Overflow of emotions. How many of you feel like since you've stopped reacting and you've started responding, that your emotions are not out of control? I know I do. Does it still happen sometimes? Well, yeah, sure. But I see it, I stop it, we move forward. We have Wondrous Universe, Walk in Beauty. And there's something about the wizard and the way he's got, his hands out. Saturn on one side and it looks like the sun on the other. But it's definitely about, I almost said manipulating energies. I don't know why that's been coming up a lot, but manipulating energies has been coming up a lot. Have you guys heard that phrase? Tell me if you've heard that phrase too. Like, I don't know why. But anyway, there's something about him like using his powers, right? So there's this energy of like you now are in control. You now are doing like this dance with the universe, right? And it's like you're creating, you're manifesting, you're bringing forth the life that you want, which is a healed version of you and those that you love, right? And it's like that's what's happening. That's what he's doing. It's like he's working it all together. Bottom of the deck, we have travel lightly, simplify your life. a big confirmation to that energy that I said earlier. I don't feel like once you have Kundalini, I feel like that's not true. I feel like somebody told me once that you could have like more than one activation, especially if you hit like a big blockage. Most people, it's the heart chakra, right? Luckily for me, I'm a Cancer rising. So mine was not the heart chakra. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me get rid of the weirdo. All right. Oh, wow. It deleted them all at the same time. That's so cool. Yay, YouTube, getting on the ball. Unless I did it and somebody else did it at the same time. Oh, Sandra, you're going to get in trouble for that. Unless that's your healing. Sandra, like there's something you do. And I was like, I know this is gonna be kind of personal. I don't know, but like I was talking to Spirit about it, and I was like, like I think she like, how sometimes I thought the same thing. Like you're overdoing something, or like you're hiding from something, or like you're I don't know, putting too much on your plate. And like Spirit told me, one, mind my own business. Two, some things people do, and it's part of their healing. Like what it is that they're doing is part of their process, like what they're going to go through so that they can purge and they can heal and they can do all the things, right? So not always, like you're saying, well, I stay preoccupied and stay busy. I imagine, and you've been that way since I've known you, right? Like since 2020 when we started this whole thing. So it's like, I imagine you've done a lot of healing and all the mowing and all the painting and all the stuff. I imagine a lot of healing came out through those moments. So, yeah. All right. Seeing that sun card again. So now we're going to do the second half. I'm going to fly through it because I feel like I said everything I was supposed to say. Same. Yes, it's very true. Very true. Like I can't come out here and be like, yes, this is your twin flame. Or I can't come out here and be like, yes, you're having dark night of the soul. I can't come out here and be like, yeah, that's toxic purify. You know what I'm saying? I can't do any of those things. But you know what I can do is I have to like have my experiences, and then I have to come out here and tell you this is what happened to me, right? And so what happens when you do that, guys, will you help me keep an eye over, Sandra, can you help me keep an eye over on the YouTube? It just keeps coming back. Like they're clearly bored, miserable, and have nothing better to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just supposed to come out here and tell you what happens to me so that if your experience is like my experience, you can be like, oh, it's not just me, right? Wow, that's amazing. There's like so many of them. Guys, give me just a minute. So I've just been, every time it comes on, so you can't do it now, but if it comes back. I know, right? Like what the bleep? All right, let's do the second half. I'm going to look at future energies for Divine Feminine. I like this, right? It wasn't so bad. And it's being able to use the sacred traveler. All right, we have Four of Cups. Four of Cups is the manifestation card. It's the card that says you now have all the ingredients. Queen of Swords is going to be how others are impacting the situation. What I will say is Queen of Swords may be harsh, but she tells truths. Like, she's not just coming out and being mean. She's not just lying. She's telling you hard facts. The moon is how you're impacting the situation. The moon is your emotions, your feelings, but it's fear. It's going to be fear. Illusions. Look how the moon is covering her face. It's like you can't see something clearly. All right, let's do hopes and fears. We have Two of Cups. And outcome, we have the Mentor. On the bottom, we have Nine of Swords. It's about processing traumas. I'm going to need the book for the Mentor card. The outcome says blind faith. That's another comment I made. I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, you know, the place where I'm at in my journey right now, it's like I am learning that I didn't need this paycheck and I needed to have more faith and spirit. I made this business from the ground up, literally with nothing, a phone, some cards, and these little wooden floor pieces that you put laminate flooring, you know what I'm talking about, that you snap together and make hardwood floors. And I threw a blanket over it, and that was my table. And bam, we had PLR. We got monetized on 2 out of 3 platforms. And the lesson, the hard lesson that I had to learn this summer was that I needed to have more faith in spirit and source and God. And I needed to spend all the time and hours and effort and energies that I'm putting here working for this other person into spirit, source, and God and PLR, right? And I was telling my friends, like, that's one of the hardest parts. It's one of the hardest parts when you go start following your purpose is you have to let go of the paycheck. The people that didn't give you the credit that you needed to begin with. The people that didn't pay you what you deserve to be paid to begin with. You have to leave all that, and you have to blind faith, you know what I'm saying? That spirit's going to have my back, and that it's not going to be miserable, and that, people aren't going to take advantage of me, and that I'm going to have the food I need to eat. And you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, definitely that's where I'm at. And it's like, Spirit, let me go back this summer to do this thing just so I could have this lesson, so that when I do have to, not have to, now I want to, right? But when I do get this time to come back to PLR, there's no resentment. There's no burnout. There's no, I don't want to do this. It's awful, whatever. Like, no, I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad that I get to spend this time with you. I'm so glad that Spirit guides me. Like, I remember what my life was like before the guidance. So I'm just saying. All right, let's look at the Four of Cups. Maybe that's it. Thank you. All right, so Four of Cups is going to be, you have all the ingredients you need. Infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. And how interesting is this? It doesn't show gold. It shows the man picking fruit from a tree, and he's surrounded by family. All right, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is how others around you are affecting the situation. Hard truths is the message I got there. Stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. So somebody gave you some hard truths, right? And maybe it's like they try to push you, or maybe they even try to stop you. But you're stronger. stronger than you look, right? Spirits behind you. They don't ever see spirit. But I definitely got this energy like you had to like push forward. You had to go through something. It's very possible that if you're anything like me, inner circle is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. And even like me, if you try to go get this job where you're going to meet more people and it's like, oh, you're going to expand that inner circle, spirit teaches you really quickly why you're not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely some very strong, but also feeling pushed or like someone's trying to stop you from stepping into your power. All right, let's look at that moon card because I picked up fear and illusions. 2 cards come out. Protected by angels, you are cherished by angels. So fear and illusion. Protected by angels, you are cherished by angels. The 2 of Cups is hopes and fears. This is like what you're hoping for. Soulmate energy, partnership energy. I don't want to be alone in the mountains in a cabin with 9 cats. I want a person to share my life with. I want a person to share the abundance with. I want a person to share my experiences with. I want a person to make memories with. I want a person that has the same goals, dreams, aspirations. I want a person that wants to go travel to the same places and see the same things and learn the same things. And I'm not saying it's got to be the same person. Like, I'm not trying to date myself, but I need somebody that's on the same level, right? 2 of Cups. Navigating by the stars, follow your bliss. So here's the energy that I've picked up with this card, like since day 1, right? Cleansing waters is going to be on the bottom. Purification activates vibrant life force. And in the flow, everything is smooth sailing goes with that mentor card. But what I want to say about the navigating by the stars, you see how he's walking through the darkness? And it's like, you can't really see. The moonlight is really not giving a lot of light. But it is that energy that is like, he has faith. He doesn't need to be able to see. He knows where the light is. He knows which direction to go, right? So it's like, that's what happens. 2 of Cups. You're going to have faith that spirit's going to bring you together, that spirit's going to bring you with the person that you're supposed to be with, that spirit's going to allow you both to heal in the same way, in the same manner, on the same level, right? Like, that's definitely some blind faith there. But the outcome was blind faith. The outcome was the mentor card. It says blind faith, guide, religious beliefs, conformity, rituals, ceremonies. And then in the flow, everything is smooth sailing. You're going to have some blind faith. You can't, if you're anything like me, you want to plan everything out. You want to know everything ahead of time. I do not like surprises. I've said that since day 1. I do not like surprises. You know why I don't like surprises? Because then I'm not in control, right? Like, how are you going to be in control of a surprise? So it's like, I can't deal. Don't know how, right? I'm starting to like surprises, y'all. But I'm just saying, originally, like, that's how it is. I have to release more control. I have to let go even more. And the last time when I had Kundalini activation, like, I really was about, I would say, 6 weeks on my own. And then I went to this place where I stayed, I don't know, like maybe 4 months. And again, very reclusive, but felt like people had access to me and people that shouldn't have had access to me, right? So I had to leave there too. um, but what happened when I left there, it was like I almost gave up. I almost was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to go do my own thing. I want to have my big paycheck. I want to shop when I want to. I want to buy this crap that I don't need. I want to eat foods that my body doesn't want. And, I want to, be around low vibe people. And I want to, what I'm trying to say? And it's like, that was silly. That was definitely very silly. I feel like it's going to be easier for me to have blind faith this time around because I got this experience of what it is that I don't want, right? All right, let's do guidance. And I'm going to use the Tree of Life Oracle. Guys, Sunday night, we're going to do love and astrology. I have already posted the thumbnail so you guys can go over and hit that notify me button for Sunday night. I will be offering some free readings. I called it heavy hitters because we're going to be looking at, well, the heavy hitters of the last week of August. And the last week of August has some pretty significant astrological events that are really going to impact you the rest of this 2024. So that's what we're going to talk about Sunday night at 9 p.m. The Man card comes out. The Elder card comes out. And the Buds card comes out. On the bottom, we have Summer. It's been a long summer. I say that, but it actually went by really fast. But long summer. All right, I'm going to look up the Buds card. It's number 7, New Beginnings. Fresh start, innocence, love of youth. Fresh start. Take first step, beginning a new cycle. We got a few for a start cards. Fresh starts, innocence, love of youth, promises, beauty, timely decisions, abundance, procrastination, exploitation, folly, conceit, and lack of judgment. All right, it says, you are ravishing as ever just now, youthful, evanescent, and alluring. This is a thrilling time of great abundance. You are an eternal budding flower, growing and opening to the unlimited potential that is your true essence. Your story is never over. You are never fully defined. You are constantly changing and reaching toward more awareness and enlightenment. Knowing that you are a precious flower of life, unique and beautiful, you are at your best. Tree of Life Bud card is telling you to delight in the sheer beauty of you at this time. Let your hair down and dance, laugh, and frolic. Bathe in optimism, seeing the good side of everything. Don't hold back all of your fabulousness. This is the right moment for pure joy. Feel as blessed by your eternal spirit as a figure in a Rococo painting. Let even excessive pleasure and beauty sweep you off your little feet. Off your feet a little, it says. Another aspect of Tree of Life Bud card is to remember that while you are very attracted to others at this time, shimmering with the thrill of love, it's important to take care. In new relationships and projects, nurse and care for the tender details. Spring buds need protection, and with good timing, ideas can fully bloom. This is also a reminder to avoid too much folly to the point of poor judgment. Even while you celebrate the essence of beauty and joy and invite others to celebrate with you. Now is also not the time to procrastinate. You can focus on what must be done and have a good time too. Bud card validates your need to preen a little, but not too much. Self-involvement can lead to regrets. Allow yourself to feel fertile as you're tenderly developing yourself and your ideas. Nurture yourself well, while keeping a good sense of fairness, and be aware that conceit and exploitation can crush things in the early stages of development. You are so desirable just now, you may be very tempting to devour. So surround yourself with fun-loving people who are not just using you, and keep your delicate petals safe. Did you guys hear that? I'm going to read it one more time. So surround yourself with fun-loving people who are not just using you, and keep your delicate petals safe. And that's that energy where I said recluse, like Spirit's going to ask you to pull back, be very protective of your energy. And it's not about it is about protecting your energy, but how you protect your energy is based on how and who you allow to have access to you. It says this may signal a time when you are learning new skills and new information, a springtime cycle for you when ideas, prospects, and fresh beginnings are upon you. While you must take your time as you grow, learn too that spring comes only once in a while. Pay attention to opportunities that come your way. Seize the moment and don't allow your spirit to be crushed. Keep opening to your fullest potential. Tree of Life Bud card signals a time of triumphant joy, hope, and deep gratitude for all the abundance in life. And I just want to say that Six of Wands that we started to, that is triumphant joy. All right, ladies. Beautiful reading, right? All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope it was helpful. Please come back, join me Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I will be offering some free readings after our collective reading, which will come right after those astrology transits that I feel we must talk about because they will impact us the rest of 2024. Thank you, everyone who came in. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you, all my moderators. I love you, ladies. And I will see everyone Sunday night. Have a good weekend. I'm always, always sending you abundant love and light on your journey. Thank you.